This is Lifestyles. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Whoever's in right now, I appreciate you coming into the chat. And we're going to jump right in and talk about not Mr. Jello pudding himself, Mr. Bill Cosby. What do you think about Mr. Bill Cosby being out of prison? I want to know what everybody's thoughts are on that. Um, his sexual assault conviction was overturned by the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania. So I guess some shenanigans with the former prosecutor of Pennsylvania that I guess he had made an agreement with a few years ago, and I guess the prosecutor kind of broke the agreement because of the civil suit of the one of the victims, so-called quote unquote victims of the assaults that I guess allegedly maybe have didn't happen now since Mr. Cosby was not convicted anymore. I mean, this is that's why I want to know what you guys feel. Um, is it over with? Has this tarnished his career? Um, you know, what's next for Bill Cosby? What's next for Mr. Pudding? Um, what's next for Mr. Huxtable? Tell me, what are your thoughts? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you thinking about the quote unquote victims in all of this, which there was a lot? I kind of had my thoughts on that myself personally. Um, I don't truly believe that all of this stuff is actually true. I think that Mr. Cosby may have crossed the wrong person and all of this stuff was maybe put out there. I'm not sure. But I have my own thoughts on that. Hey, Shirley. Hey, Terry. Hey, George. Welcome to Lifestyles. Um, I want to know what your thoughts are on it. I'm sure of the alleged victims are I think they were on CNN, and they were saying a lot of things. They couldn't believe it, things like that. I believe that Mr. Cosby may have been paying these victims for years, and maybe they got upset at some point. I don't know, uh, but I don't know. What do you think? You tell me. George, what's on your mind? You tell me. I'm sure you've got a lot to say. You tell me, my friend. Tell me what's on your mind. What do you think about Mr. Cosby being out of jail? Do you think this tarnishes his career? Do you think he can move on as an old man and kind of get something back? I mean, he's definitely wealthy. He's not broke, so that's not the problem. But what do you think? What do you guys think about his future? What do you think about the alleged victims? Uh, Tell me what's like. What do you think? Because I always thought it was a bunch of bullshit myself, or a bunch of malarkey, whatever you want to say. But in my own mind, I think Mr. Cosby may have pissed somebody off really big in the industry, and I don't know. It just seemed awful weird to me for all those victims to come out at the exact same time almost, and it just seems weird. What you think, Terry? Latrice, what's going on? Welcome to Lifestyles. What do you think, Latrice and Terry? Uh, I think you're absolutely right. A lot of these women have definitely been paid for their interviews, so um, that is some sort of compensation for uh, the whole trial, the whole sexual assault case. For Mr. Cosby. I mean, this is definitely lined a few pockets. So I guess like I said, a few people have profited from this. But now, where does he go from here? Where do the alleged victims go from here? Do they try to still do some sort of other civil case? Or I know the one lady, I believe I'm not sure if it was UCLA or something like that, but she kind of looked like, hmm, let me see, she looked like a man, I believe. So yeah, in my eyes. That's what I. But she had sued Mr. Cosby, I think, for $3 million or something like that. So yeah, that's what the part of this is about too. Would you say, George? No. Well, what I believe is they cut that off. I believe they cut the Cosby Show off for him getting paid. Okay. So so prosecuted him was bullshit after they made a deal or not go after him if they talk to them. Okay. Terry said they just trying to bring down our black mentors, but we won't go. That, Terry, that's your opinion. I believe that in some ways too. It seems like there's just a double standard. Nobody's perfect. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this, Mr. Cosby's perfect, but it just seems as if there's a double standard on um, people. Period. Uh, they're taking black men out on a daily basis, whether it's police brutality, commercials where I see African American woman with a Caucasian man. They're just taking African American men out of the whole picture. Period. So, um, that's what I see. That's maybe my perception on things, but that's my business. Um, but we just have to stick together, uh, abide by the law as best as we can, and try to have something in the world and not depend on others, but rely on each other. We just have to take care of one another. Once we start doing that, like they did in the '60s, then we'll thrive better. Our race will begin to thrive a little better. But until then, I don't know. Okay, George. So you're saying since she had the non-disclosure agreement, she got paid. Okay. So she really owes him money. She used her testimony to put him in prison. Okay. And she wasn't supposed to do that. So, yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I wonder if she still has that $3 million. What you think? I bet she doesn't. I don't know, folks. This is I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't thinking I was gonna hear Bill Cosby be getting out of jail anytime soon. Honestly, R. Kelly ought to be out on at least house arrest, I would think. Hey, Lady Gwendolyn, how are you feeling? And welcome to Lifestyles. Thanks for coming in. What's going on, lady? Friend workout with me is in the house. Of course, she doesn't have it. She spent that money. She spent it. But since she had the non-disclosure, she should have kept her freaking mouth shut, and they wouldn't have been able to convict him. And see, what happened was is that they convicted him in the public arena. He wasn't convicted in the court of law first. He was already convicted in the public arena, um, and that's the reason why he was put in prison. So, God doesn't like ugly, and when things are not right, they come to the light, and that's just the truth. And I'm not trying to rhyme. So when things are right, they definitely come to the light. Okay. So, that's just the way it is. Um, he should definitely sue her. I agree. I totally agree. Um, you know, he's already an old man. She's taken 3 years of his life. I'm not going to say that he's a sexual predator. He wasn't convicted of anything now. So you have to learn how to forget about that because he wasn't convicted of that. If the Supreme Court took it away, then that's what it is. It's taken away, and it never happened. So it's just he can't get those 3 years back, or 3 out of 10 years. You're probably right, George. She probably did take that 3 million to Jamaica somewhere. That's funny. Wow. Absolutely not convicted. You're right. You're right. You're right. You know, but the silly, the serious thing about all of this is that if you don't have legal representation or paid representation, you're not going to get out of prison like Bill Cosby did. You know, who do we know that can beat a conviction like that? Not anybody. So um, when you have the money to fight, you can win. When you don't have the money to fight, you don't win, and that's normally what happens. Uh, that he should write a book. I agree with that. I don't know about comedy, but he definitely have something to talk about. That's for sure. That's definitely for sure. Um, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Not one person could he's a Superman, LOL. Not one person because he's a Superman. Wow, okay. Wow. I don't know what they should instantly really expunge his record. Because if the Supreme Court overturned it and took it away, then that means he's not a convicted felon anymore. So I don't know. I don't know. That should be immediately really off of his record, I would think. Um, he still, he still has a legacy. And you're right. He did a lot of positive things. I can't take that away from him. I definitely used to love Fat Albert. Hey, hey, hey! It's Fat Albert, and I'm gonna sing the song for you. Yeah, I used to love that. That was my show. But and I'm sure everybody else did too, and all the different characters. So, I saw a lot of positive things from Bill Cosby, and I'm not going to prejudge this man. I don't know him personally, and I don't know what happened in this case. So, if he's not guilty, he's not guilty. He's not convicted of anything, and that's that. And whoever's opinion is their opinion, and I don't have a problem with that. That Fat Albert movie was the ish. You're right, and you're right. I do have to do a little bit better protection on that on my cell phone stuff. You're right. You know what? And he always said he wasn't guilty, and he said he wasn't going to admit to anything. So that's one of the things that was one of the stipulations he had for himself. He never admitted to guilt, and he never said he did anything wrong. So kudos to him. And you know what? I believe he didn't, because if just think about it, if he did something wrong at this point, he would have just said, you know what, I did it. But he didn't. So either he's a narcissist and it's all about him, or he's telling the truth, one or the other. That's for you to decide, and or the Lord to decide. So we'll just have to see. And he definitely stood his ground, George. Absolutely, you're right. You're right. Um, it's just like I said, I was not expecting to hear this at all. That this was something I wasn't expecting. Like I said, they ought to let R. Kelly at least out on bond and out on house arrest. That man has been convicted of stuff in the public eye again. This is not about the past stuff, but about something that happened in the near, the past, that the near future past, whatever, you know what I'm saying. But um, at least let him out on bond or house arrest. He's not a flight risk. So I don't know. They're just trying to uh, convict you before you're even convicted, and it's sad. It really is. You know what? I agree with you, friend. I agree. I believe that he pissed somebody off, and somebody got rubbed the wrong way, and it was like, you know what? Or check this out. This is another theory. Um, what about uh, what about if he pissed somebody off and they said, okay, we're gonna get you some time just so you can see what we can really do to you. So don't fuck up again. So see, that's the other part of it. Um, this might have just been a slap on the wrist saying, look, Mr. Cosby, if you ever try to do this again, we will bury you forever, the rest of your life. You got 3 years of punishment, which could have been a lifetime, or 10 years because he's an old man. So it could have been like a threat that they put upon him to just give him a lesson. So we just don't know about that Hollywood stuff. We have no clue. He definitely gets a second chance. I totally agree. The Cosby Show was a good show. I'm a little older, but I do remember the Cosby Show. I watched it, um, and I looked up to Theo and all the other college kids. I dressed like that, and at some point, I did want to go to college, but I went the other way instead. So, but that's okay. Hey, Shante Gilkey, what's going on? Welcome to Lifestyles. Thanks for coming in. I won't be on here too much longer. Just wanted to kind of get some opinions on Mr. Cosby's release and see, how you guys felt about that. And my thoughts on McAfee, he was a fucking nut. First of all, I think he was on meth. He was on drugs. He was very paranoid and schizophrenic acting. And I think it was because he was on meth. So he was doing some really weird things with guns and stuff like that, and women and porn and all kind of weird shit. So it's sad that he's dead, but he had a legacy that he ruined because he got on drugs and stuff like that. So that's too bad for him. Hopefully he made it to heaven, but that's between him and the Lord. It is what it is. No, I didn't sign up for Patreon. I need to check on that, George, by the way. Thanks for reminding me. I'm going to check on Patreon and I'm going to see if that's something I'm interested in getting on. And I guess I can get a better platform on Patreon as well. So we'll see. Let's Do It Again was one of my best movies too, Gwendolyn. Definitely. I love that movie. I still have that actually. Let's Do It Again. Sidney Poitier and Bootney Lee Farnsworth and all those good people and the characters in that movie. That was a really good movie. Well, that might be one of the reasons why he was put in prison, to tell him to be quiet and not to try to come up with anything or not to try to buy any television stations. There's so many different rumors about Bill Cosby. So, we can go on and on and on. But the good thing is that he's out and he gets to enjoy the least the rest of his life with his wife and his family, being an old man and still having somewhat of a legacy with the Black and African American community. We grew up with him, and we always like to see somebody beat the system. In his case, he beat the system because he had money and influence, which a lot of us don't, unfortunately. But at least he was able to get out of prison, and the Supreme Court overthrew his sexual assault conviction, so that was a good thing for him. Yeah, that was John McAfee. He came up with the malware or something like that security system for the computers. Yeah, so. But I just wanted to touch bases on the Bill Cosby thing with you guys tonight, and see what see what your opinion was. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Lifestyles with Eric. I really appreciate everybody that came in. There's so many different conspiracies with this. Definitely, George. Conspiracy thoughts that he made a deal with the Illuminati. You never know. You never know. You absolutely never know when they're involved because they're always watching. Um, they told me I can make $400,000 a month if I was to sign up with them, and I said no. Well, actually, I didn't even answer back, but they had left me a message, honestly. So that's something personal I just shared with you. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad his wife stood with him too. So that was awesome about of her as a good woman and a good strong woman. Um, yeah, it was. But folks, I'm out. I want you guys to have a good night. I'll be back at the end of the week. We'll talk about the hello trade ace of spades. You're coming in late, but we're on our way out. We're on our way out. 400,000 a month for what, George? Meg, see my Meg versus. Okay, well you have to send that to me. I don't know what you're talking about. Send it to me. Good night, Shirley. Welcome to Lifestyles. We appreciate you. Make sure you send that to me. Friend workout. And I'll make sure I look at it. Yeah. Yeah, they offered me $400,000 through Instagram. Somebody left me a message through the Illuminati, and I never reached back out to them. I don't. indulge in those types of things. I don't care how talented I am. I won't be going that way to be rich and famous. But they did offer me $400,000 a month to sign with Illuminati, and I said no. So uh, yeah, that's maybe another topic we'll get into one day about people selling their souls. It may have been a scam, and if it was a scam, that's fine. I didn't want to click on it to see if it was or if it wasn't. So, but I do know that I'm talented when it comes to my art and stuff like that. So, I can make somebody a lot of money, and I can make myself a lot of money. I have in the past. So, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm Trey Ace of Spades. You can't be late. You get the notification when you're supposed to get it. You got to get your butt on. So that's bad for you. We'll get you on there next time. We're going to have you, George, and somebody else, and we're going to do a panel on something different. We're going to be talking about some men and women issues and relationship stuff. So be on the lookout for Trey Ace of Spades, me and George, and maybe the pimp Suave. And we're going to get on a panel and we're going to do some chit chatting about some different issues. So be on the lookout for that, everybody. Have a good night. This is Lifestyles with Eric, and I am out.